Pixar is most known for its incredible storytelling and characters that we have grown up with and have been majorly touched by, from when Woody was able to learn the term of sharing to Coco learning the meaning of family ties and reconcile. But notably, they are also well known for their work of art called animation. Sure, they aren't the only company that knows how to animate a movie, but only Pixar does it in a very special way. Today we wanted to go through some of the behind-the-scenes moments of the films and find out just how much time goes into animating each frame. Starting off, Pixar was the first company to pull off a fully animated film. At the time, drawn animation and 2D animation, also known as computer animation, was the only two of its kind. This is the first time anybody had ever seen this kind of thing, so Pixar knew that they had their stakes high. The first test animation of Toy Story was a scene of Buzz and Woody before the model of the characters were finalized.
We made this test because a lot of people thought that an audience would not sit through 70 minutes of computer animation. People were used to hand-drawn animation, and I knew that when our imagery was lit, textured, and rendered, no one had ever seen anything like this before.
One of the challenging aspects of animating in this kind of style was character movement. In Toy Story 2, for the new characters like Jessie and Bullseye, some of the production team members actually acted like how they were going to animate the character doing certain movements to really understand how to make the movement believable for the character.
I got some old sneakers, I got a piece of plywood, and I nailed the shoes down to the board, and we tried walking in this thing and videotaped animators doing this. It was that experience and the analysis that allowed us to convincingly animate the Green Army Men.
Okay now, slow!
The first couple weeks in animation, where we were exploring these new characters, it was kind of like meeting people at a party. You like everybody else there, and you know, well, I'll probably like these people too, because they're friends with my friends.
They even show behind the scenes of how the graphics has increased over the years for Toy Story 3. For Toy Story 4, we get to see how the animation improved up to 2015, moving frame by frame. They even go as far as bringing some of the life-size toys to a carnival, taking pictures of them nearby objects to compare the scale of them against objects there. The voice of Duke Kaboom even went on to Good Morning America promoting the film and reveals he'd never seen a Pixar movie prior to being casted, but also when he saw the first Toy Story that he had never seen animation effects like that before. And that was back in 1995, so you can only imagine what he thought when he was watching them create the fourth movie in 2019.
I saw the first movie, I did see it on video. It was on a big screen, just happened to be a television screen, but I remember having never seen effects like that before. And that movie was really my introduction into Pixar. I had never seen a Pixar movie prior to that, and I was like, what is this, and how are they doing the special effects?
Moving on to Monsters, Inc., in the first version of the film, Mike actually had no hands. He used his feet for hands, and Sully looked nothing like how he does today, with tentacles as legs and almost no fur. The complication they had with this one is when they finally decided to add fur to Sully, they had to make sure that the movement was correct and it flowed realistically.
We had to define an entire monster world, and I thought it very important to be able to create 3D animation right off the bat to see whether the sort of direction we were going in.
The fur is a fairly complicated process. The hairs are moved by a computer program. And that means that each one of those hairs is somewhat out of our control.
Brave was another movie that challenged the technology of animation with Merida's hair. Each strand of her hair had to be rendered individually in order for it to appear perfect for the big screen. With her hair being as curly as it was exceptionally difficult because of the physics of her long bouncy hair, having to move more individually. The animators even spent 3 years developing a software that could handle the rendering of her hair alone.
We set up a lot of simulation rigs so the hair can behave nicely with any kind of motion, from very slow shot to very active sequence, but it still needs to look pleasing to the eye.
The look of hair is one of the more difficult things to get right in computer graphics because of its complex scatter and transmission of light.
The first 3D animated movie was Up in 2009. The team goes over the animations of Russell, Doug, and Carl.
This is a fur test for Doug, and early on, so it's going to even get even more flowy in the wind and so forth, but boy, he looks great.
He gets concerned, and then he grins again, and then he does this. That seems like ABA.
For Finding Nemo, the researchers tell how they go about researching some of the analytics for the aquariums and ocean life and how they go about putting it all together.
What we do is we draw a bunch of drawings. It ends up kind of looking like a big comic book, which tells us what happens in the whole film.
And then we act it out to each other and find out if it's working.
And then what we do is we make tons of changes.
Because this film was solely based underwater, the difficult thing for the producers and animators was the lighting and movement of the water.
So we start by making the water move back and forth. That's surge and swell.
And then we put particulate in, which is like dirt moving in the water. And then we put this caustic light pattern that kind of dances all over everything.
For Ratatouille, we get to see the step-by-step animation process from the scene of Colette teaching Linguini the logistics of the kitchen.
Always do something unexpected.
No, follow the recipe.
But you just said...
No. It was his job to be unexpected. It is our job to follow the recipe. How do you tell a good bread is without tasting it? Not the smell, not the look, but the sound, the crust, the sound. Oh, a symphony of crackle. Only great bread sound this way.
For the most recent film, Luca, the multiple uses of transformation made the production team again create an animation rig that could follow the pattern of when they were transforming and make sure the timing of it was perfect and at least somewhat believable. So what do you guys think of these moments of how the production team goes in depth on the research and time it takes in order to put these movies together? Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. And if you like these kinds of videos, we do cover a lot of Pixar related news and facts, so if you're interested in seeing more, go ahead and subscribe for more.
Hey, Ted! Good morning! Hey, how was that? Was I scary? Do I get the part?
Okay. A little help here, please.
Me, marker. If I were a rich man with $1 million or $2 million, I'd live in a penthouse in a room with a view. And if I were handsome, no way it could happen. Whew! I don't remember eating that. Cut.
I can't believe this. That's the fifth time. What row is that guy in? Sorry, everyone. I had that bean burrito for lunch. Okay, I'm all right now. Sorry.
Isn't this exciting, Heimlich? Our first day of shooting.
Oh, yeah. It's so exciting.
You know, I can't believe that you talked them into making A Bug's Life too.
Oh, yeah, I can hardly believe it also.
Huh? Darn it, Woody!
Okay, let's go.